start here. Welcome. I want to stay, I'm going to try and stay on time to honor everyone's time, including myself. I've got the chat up, so if at any point you want to have a question, that's great. And you're welcome to show your video, or you can keep yourself with just your name. That's totally fine. So we're in this is the third of 4 weekly meditations. I did not expect to have our country go into one of the most monumental civil rights hopefully reforms of our time during this. So it feels really inappropriate to not even in an indirect way address that before we sit, because there's a lot happening in our world right now, and depending on who you are and where you're at, and who your family is, and what your skin color is, there's everyone's having their own rainbow of experience in this process, including myself. So I have a book, it's called Buddha's Brain, and it's the practical neuroscience of happiness, love, and wisdom. It's obviously a book on meditation, and I caught this one paragraph that just feels maybe relevant to right now, and the idea being that we are all connected as people on this earth, around the world, and in our country, and with our neighbors, and et cetera, and change always happens, and we must evolve, and that starts with the self. So that's why we're all here, obviously, is to, including me, work on the self. And so this one paragraph is titled "The World on the Edge of a Sword." Perhaps most important of all, consider the ripples spreading out from your own growth, imperceptibly but genuinely helping a world full of greed, confusion, fear, and anger. Our world is poised on the edge of a sword, and it could tip either way. Across the planet, slowly but surely, we're seeing increasing democratization, a growing number of grassroots organizations, and more understanding of our fragile interconnectedness. On the other hand, the world is getting hotter, military technologies are increasingly lethal, and a billion people go to sleep hungry every night. The tragedy and opportunity of this moment in history are exactly the same. The natural and technical resources needed to pull us back from the brink already exist. The issue is not a lack of resources, it is a lack of will and restraint, of attention to what's truly happening, and of enlightened self-interest, a shortage, in other words, of virtue, mindfulness, and wisdom. As you and other people become increasingly skillful with the mind, and thus the brain, that could help tip our world in a better direction. Now, we could probably have a book club on what I just read. Notable is that this is written by a white man, and so some of what he just said is maybe could be put into question, but I do think that there's a lot of relevance here, and worth remembering that as we do our own self-work, that ripple effect affects other people in our world. So with that, let's get seated. I am sitting on a cushion like this. You can use anything. You can sit in a chair or on the floor. You can lay down if you need to, though maybe best for if you are physically unable to be in a seated position. And so find your seat and we'll get started. first arriving. Establishing your posture. If you're on the ground, connecting to the places that your legs are touching the floor, where your feet may be touching your thighs. If you're in a chair, connecting your feet to the ground. In either case, connecting your body to the ground, to the earth, and giving a weighted quality to what is below you, meaning letting your lower body be heavy. Your hips, your legs, your feet. Allowing your lower body to be like your root system, grounding you to this earth. And with that root system grounding you, finding a lengthening quality in the backside body, as though your torso all the way up to the crown of your head were just full of life, and feeling that sense of dignity and honor in your body, feeling proud to be you. Like royalty. And just like royalty, not a care in the world, allowing your body to let go in all the places that you're holding. So your arms, your hands, the palms can rest on the thighs, either mid-thigh or closer to the knees. Face down, if that's comfortable. And your strong, lifted backside body allows your front side body to soften. So feeling your belly let go. The space around your heart. Releasing any tension. And your face. The eyes remain open in this practice. A little bit edgy. This is a practice of wakefulness, and we can talk about that later. So allowing your gaze to be cast down in front of you, somewhere 6 feet or less, and just soft, a soft gaze. Your eyes are soft, sitting in your eye sockets, resting. And your face itself, the jaw can relax. Maybe wiggle it out so nobody sees you, unless you have kids or a dog or whatever. No need to talk, which is a gift. So just let your jaw relax. Your breathing can come in and out through the nose. And there's no special instruction for the breath. You simply breathe accepting whatever kind of breath you have today. Shallow, deep, short, long. Just allowing the breath to be what it is without judgment. Breathing in and out through the nose with a focus on the feeling of your breath. And as the mind wanders all around, reminding you of things you forgot to do this morning, things you need to do later, what the name was of your teacher in 5th grade, just whatever comes up in the mind, just letting it come and go, like a little training of the mind. Letting it come and go. Always redirecting your attention to the feeling of the breath. And so we'll sit for a few minutes doing that. my meditation instructor is Susan Piver, and she says, in order to end your meditation, you simply stop, which like kind of annoyed me at first, but it's so true. It's like you enter and then you exit. So welcome out to the other side. I hope that felt helpful. We've got about 10 minutes for questions or comments.